try your best to see things as a whole, taking into account everyone's perspective, everyone's thought forms on certain topics. And do not erase others' thoughts or beliefs to suit your own. And I feel like he's really, he's using the abortions ruling that's been happening recently. Okay, Welcome everyone. I am Kristin Davies and we are going to be channeling Archangel Raphael today, which I'm really excited about. So please join us live here in my group on Facebook called Intuitive Angel Messages, and where we like to go live once a week. We love it. Oh, and my special guest has arrived and is going to help me also channel Archangel Raphael. And you know, two of us, we can make quick work of any questions that you have for Archangel Raphael. And of course, we're going to be channeling a message from him as well. Have you channeled Archangel Raphael all that often, Paul?
No, I don't usually channel him that often. Sometimes he does come in on readings and things like that if there's certain things that need to be done, or sometimes certain people want to talk to Archangel Raphael, but most of the time I'm not I don't talk to him super often, but he's not one of the archangels that I don't know, like, completely know nothing about, you know, like some of the archangels I'm like, oh, there's so many of them.
You know, some of us resonate and we're drawn towards a certain archangel over another. When you're giving a reading and you notice, you know, energy drop by to relay a message other than who you're channeling in the moment, which is usually a person's guardian angel or their spirit guide, who out of all the archangels, who drops by the most during a reading to relay a message to individuals through your readings?
I would probably say Archangel Michael. I think he's probably a solid pick for that. And then since I have quite a few different people that have a lot of starseed energy around them, Archangel Metatron, he'll come in sometimes, and a lot of people like to hear from him, especially if they have stronger, you know, starseed origins. He likes to come in and, you know, make himself known. And
well, and I find it's for me usually Archangel Michael's off to the side and he's always kind of watching and seeing if he's going to step in or not. But I really find Archangel Gabriel steps in quite often.
Yeah, I like Archangel Gabriel.
Don't you find he swoops in like last minute? For me, it's at the tail end of a reading and he just wants to release a short message and then he's off again. I'm like, okay, thanks for visiting. So Archangel Raphael, at least from my perspective, isn't the one of the archangels that kind of pops into a reading to relay a message. Not often for me. So it's kind of good that we're bringing him on live to relay guidance for everyone.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he.
So are we muting out your laptop there? Or?
Yeah, I'm just doing this so I can see the comments.
Okay, so I thought what we would do is channel a message from Archangel Raphael for everyone. So whether you're watching this live or otherwise, whenever you're watching it, this message is for you. Doesn't matter, even if it's years down. Okay. And so what we'll do is we'll each relay a message from him. And then we'll take some of your questions and channel messages from him for you. So maybe what I'll do is I'll go first if that's okay with you. And we'll just see what he'd like to relay. Let's see where he is. I find that they're always coming in wherever my window is in the room. That's kind of like the trajectory that they come in or around through that area. Okay, so he's relaying the same message that I've been relaying from our guardian angels for at least, I'd say, 8 months now, which is believe and ye shall receive. Okay, so he's just reiterating this message for us to get the memo. And the memo is, what do you want to create more of in your reality? Do you want to keep honing in and focusing in on what you don't like, or do you want to hone in and focus in on more of what you want to create more of? And it is a way of manifestation, creating, as we are manifestors and creators of our realities, he's saying. Okay. It's really important that we receive this message and have it sink in, because many of us are flailing. Many of us are, as Kristin says, bouncing around out there. Okay, we're just kind of going and we're spiraling, some of us, and we're not quite sure how to get out of situations that we are currently in. And he wants us to stop, slow down, create stillness within, and give thought to what you want to create. What is it that you want? And he says you can go even as far as writing down a list, a manifestation list on a piece of paper, so that they can all read it and help co-create whatever your desires, wishes, and dreams are into your existence, into your reality. Okay? He does a brief dusting off. Okay. Okay, now he's pointing to Paul.
Okay. Yeah, I felt him kind of coming in behind me more this time, which is kind of interesting. He was just coming in real kind of subtle before. Hopefully he'll come in a little bit stronger while I'm channeling, but he's kind of giving me this energy of kind of looking after all of us and giving us a sense of being safe and comfortable. And he wants us to perpetuate this type of energy, this energy of balance, this energy of feeling good, feeling comfortable in the world, in your vessel. Coming at it from this perspective is going to make the future or the bumpy ride ahead easier for people. He's giving me the sense of some people are going to be having problems with money, problems with finding places to live, things like that. It's important to be in this balanced state. And he's saying that people that have more of an entrepreneur mindset are going to do better in this type of environment, because they were never in a stable way before anyways. So he's just likening it to taking one step at a time, putting one foot in front of the other, because that's all we can really do on Earth. There's no point of keeping going in the past, going in the future. Just do the best you can to stay in the moment, and that will help keep you grounded and for what you need here.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also saying what you were saying, believe and you shall receive, and you will receive. But it is important to stay in the present moment for these things to be able to manifest, to have a balanced lifestyle, a balanced mind. These things will manifest faster and be more aligned with your vibrational frequency rather than this chaotic frequency that has been going on here on Earth. He's saying this chaotic frequency is not coming from source. It's not coming from the angels. So you don't have to tap into it. It's not coming from you. It's coming from parts of the collective consciousness here. Because a lot of the people here aren't necessarily ready for it. He's saying it in quotations because really they are ready for it. They just aren't conscious of it. So it's kind of hitting them like that. Yeah. So he's kind of like pulling out the secret glove in his pocket. He's like, "Ooh, us spiritual people, you guys have a little bit of a head start, you know, and be grateful for that, and be ready to help others along this path, because there's more to come. There's many more." Yeah. He's really excited about that. He's saying you may no longer feel alone in the future, and that's one thing that he's set his eyes on, is that he doesn't want these spiritual people to keep feeling alone in the future, or to have no one around them. He wants more people to come together and to love each other, to have more community with each other, and feeling some sort of sense of connection, whether it's with the angels, whether it's with other people around them. Because he's saying this isolation is not good for people for very, very long periods of time. For short periods of time it can be good, but for long periods of time it's not. And in the end, we need to branch out and connect with others that are like us, that have similar types of energy, that are more spiritual and minded, more open-minded, that are uplifting people. But he's just saying it's difficult to find these uplifting people, isn't it? It's difficult for some of us.
Hopefully it won't be too difficult forever.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much all I feel like he has to say, mostly. He's kind of just sitting right here on the back of my head.
You know, I was saying to a friend of mine the other day, I was saying, because I've been self-employed one way or another since 2006. And then, of course, you know, being on this journey for just over 5 years now. But I was saying that I feel and I see more support and stability being self-employed than I ever did having a job. And yet the rest of our society and the way you're raised is that you get a job, right? You get a job, you hold that job, you work at that job, and then you hold down jobs until you're 65, 75, and then you can retire and you can enjoy that last little increment of your life. But the beautiful thing about being self-employed is that you can step out of the 3D more, away on your own, and you can create more of a high vibrational, uplifting experience that's your own, separate from others, which is really wonderful. It's much more freeing. And I highly recommend it. It's just that most people aren't willing to face the fear and do it anyways, and trust and have faith. So I've always trusted in my team to guide me and steer me. And so far, I would have to say it's been a total success. And it's been wonderful and very freeing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, as they say, life is too short to do something that you
and then you get to retire at the very end, and you get like 10 years to 20 years to yourself. I mean,
over time, something has to give at some point. And I feel like a lot of these companies, they're not valuing people, and they're not paying people enough, and it's more of a disconnect between the company and the customer and things like that. So I feel like people are really valuable. Many people are so valuable, and these companies aren't valuing people at all. And knowing that you are worth it, that you deserve, your skills are good. Like, even if they aren't that good, like your energy, even out there, being more personable, with a customer is going to be overall better.
I
I feel
remember,
like a lot of the time. Like if you're a carpenter and you're working for a company, you're probably not going to be making as much money than if you're making like select things for people. And that's the thing that I like about coming forward with some of this chaos, is that these companies can't keep up anymore. So it's going to give more of the power to the people in the end, because we're going to be the people that, you know, are making the money instead of these big
I think what
conglomerates, you
drove
know.
me in this direction was being tired of working for someone for a very low wage, certainly not enough to live on. And I remember everybody was celebrating and congratulating me for being an office manager at a computer school. And I was like, I'm barely earning enough to make, you know, like it's not like I'm thriving here. Like this isn't something, like I get everybody's happy for me and everything, but and I was learning a lot of new skills, which actually have benefited me in the work, you know, computer work that I am doing now, right? But
Hmm.
because in order to run your own business, you better know something, right? But yeah, I remember this medium a long time ago. My mom introduced me to her when I was 21 briefly, and we were talking about, you know, the job I was in, because I was in this bakery and I was making bread and cakes and, what am I going to be doing for a living? And I remember her saying to me, well, somebody's got to do it. And that really honed in as a kickback in my body. Like, yeah, someone's got to do it, but it ain't going to be me, not for the rest of my life. And it's really important for me to enjoy my life fully while I'm doing something that I enjoy for work. If you want to,
Yeah. Especially what you do on a day-to-day basis that you're making money at, that it can be draining if it's, oh, yeah, Kristin, that's your purpose, is to
yeah,
be a baker
or
at Save
wherever.
on
Yeah.
this or somewhere.
Well, the thing is
Yeah.
like you work these 8, 9. By the time you travel, by the time you get home, it's what 9.5 hours. You get to see your family for like 2 hours, and then you go to bed, and then you get up and you do it all over again. I mean, somebody's got to do it. Hmm. So here's a question
Mhm.
from Karen. She would like to know if Archangel Raphael, if you want to answer this one, she's been directed to a lot of doctors and they just don't have any help. I can relate, Karen. I can relate. You know, after a couple go arounds, drugs just didn't work for my condition anymore, so I can relate with that. Although we knew what it was, roughly. Uh, so, is there any advice for Karen's daughter in regards to this? Is this a part of Karen's daughter's life purpose in the health issues that she's having? I believe, uh, okay, if I can pronounce that correctly, Ehlers-Danlos, which causes constant pain in the body for her daughter. They're also suspecting that there's a possibility,
Okay.
there's something else going on, and that she's being, and she will be evaluated for MS. Okay. The first thing I'm getting is that there's a lot of learning and a lot of value when incarnating on Earth, learning by way or through pain.
Yeah, there's a lot of frustration there, a lot of like almost like kind of anger, resentment at these professionals like doctors and so forth. I just feel like some energy bubbling up, kind of, and that's being understood, you know.
Do you get a real quiet, calm? Do you what?
Yeah,
That's right.
it's not a whole lot. I'm getting it's almost like I'm
Yeah.
picking up on the energy of them,
Yeah.
like reacting to
You,
these,
you are.
you know,
It's
professionals,
Archangel. Well, what I'm
but
getting
it's
is
not.
Archangel
It's
Raphael getting really peaceful and calm and quiet, and he's brought us down a notch to be calm and patient. And then he's showcasing out in front to be calm and patient, and that there's much more yet to come. Okay. So she's just pulling me out with the energy, and then I'm just relaxed as best as you can and being calm and patient for more answers to come. Do you receive anything else, Paul?
No. Putting all the
Do you want?
pressure on you? Just kidding. No. I feel like it's more of a thing, something that she kind of
Yeah.
signed up
And,
for, what it
yeah.
feels like to me, and that I feel like it's not like there's. I don't feel the feeling I'm getting is not like everything can be done about this. Like there's something that she came in with that she's agreed to, but there's still things that can be done, but it's more they may come in time or something like
You know, it
that
takes a lot
is what
to
I'm getting.
build the light within you while you're suffering on earth. It takes a lot to focus in on the lighter aspects. And I know that it's easier for some rather than others. For some, just being here on earth is like flailing and difficult. But this is really a good practice run or test on enjoying things even while you're suffering. Focusing in on the lighter aspects even when you're suffering. And that's easier said than done because usually the first few years is just a real powwow of suffering and boo-hoo, poor me, and victimhood. Been there, did that. You know, there's still moments where I'll catch myself and reroute myself. Do you want to say anything else in regards to this? They hear your pleas, they hear your cries, they hear your requests, and I'm also seeing Jesus nearby. There's more to come. There's more to come. Okay. And then, yeah, getting that calm,
Yeah.
peaceful, being patient. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Feeling having something really difficult happen in your life is really a blessing sometimes. I'm not saying in this case, but I'm just saying in general. Uh, you ever seen those people that just kind of go throughout life? They're kind of just in that depressive state, but nothing really ticks them off. You know, just like they're like a steady level of just like woe is me. You know, but if something really brings you down, I'm talking about something maybe even something that's traumatic, that will help you move into another direction because you will not ever
Mm-hmm.
want to go back to that place ever again. You will you'll have to, it'll be forcing you to move in a different direction, like if you hit kind of like rock bottom in some way. It's almost like on earth, uh, you kind of want something like that sometimes because
You
if
just
you don't
remember
have that,
who you
then
are.
it's really hard for you to see the light.
Okay.
Yeah,
So let's go to the next question here
feel
from
that depth.
Kristin. Is there any tips from Archangel Raphael in regards to how to bring my 9-year-old daughter's health back into balance and have her on board with it so it's not a constant battle? Do you want me to go first? It's
Yes.
very, it's, Archangel Raphael is very soft in his approach and how he communicates. So it's maybe not as easy to pick up on as Archangel Michael, for example. But we can ask Archangel Raphael to give it with more punch, more gusto, or we can ask Archangel Michael to come and help bring the energy in more to give the message so that you pick up on it a little bit easier. So what I'm getting is, what is she eating? There's something about her eating. What is she eating? That's a contributing factor. Okay. Anything else? Her body is sensitive, and the contributing factor is what she is consuming. So, like, I'm going to give you guys an example. My diet consists of a lot of vegetables. I try to steer away from meat, but I'm back with organic meat because I have no longer a large intestine, so food runs out of me really fast. And with keeping more of a whole food diet with a lot of vegetables, things would flow out of me real quick. And so I'm really cut back and or removed dairy products. Um, and I try to limit a lot of certain foods. Sugar will get me going. Caffeine will get me going. So, like as a child, you're looking for sugar and you're looking for snacks, whereas maybe a child may not want vegetables a whole lot, right? So it's all about. I get that it's really about diet is a big contributing factor. Anything else? I'm just getting that she'll get it over time and it will smooth out and get easier over time. Similar or like this dear one. Because you just, what happens is you keep swaying off the path with the diet and you just hit a brick wall and then it forces you back onto the path. So there's only one way it's going to go.
Yeah, sometimes with these things, you're gonna have to just try a bunch of new things and see what sticks and see what feels good in your body. Because everybody's body's different, so you have to keep kind of like doing trial and error to find what's good for you a lot
And
of
that's so
times.
true, Angie. She's very sensitive, and food that goes into our bodies when we are sensitive, it's really imperative as to the foods that we put in our bodies, affecting our bodies. And it's going to be more and more so moving forward. Fernanda has a question in regards of what would Archangel Raphael like to say about forgiveness? Um,
Okay. As soon as I saw this message, the thing he kept telling me is forgive yourself. It's about forgiving yourself. So something about yeah, just forgiving. I don't know if it's something necessarily that you've done or anything, but it's more of just a feeling that you need to forgive yourself. A feeling of like guilt, something that you've done. I don't know if it could have been it could have not even been in this lifetime, but I feel like it was from this lifetime. I don't know if you're a mother, Fernanda, but a lot of mothers hold this kind of this. They don't forgive themselves when they really should, because it's a very hard job in general for a lot of people. They're just talking about trusting in the process, and this feeling of forgiving will come easier to you, especially as you ask the angels to come in closer to you. It will feel easier to let go.
You know, our loved ones on the other side,
Interesting.
once they cross over, they're not sitting there holding unforgiveness anymore. They're not sitting there, you know, brooding over things like we do here on Earth. Nobody does. Like anyone that I've ever seen cross over moves on, and they transmute and transition into a much more high vibrational place of existence, and they realize that this is but a temporary seeming experience that their soul is housed in for a brief moment. Okay, and so they're not sitting there fuming about lifetime that they had, I
Yeah.
don't know, God knows how long ago. Oh, I'm gonna hold on to that for eons. You can see silly it seems, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it can be hard to forgive people sometimes, especially when people have wronged you very bad in the past, or think you feel like you've been wronged, and you feel like you just can't let go. You're attached to that experience, but when you start to realize, oh, if I just kind of take thing moment by moment, step in the step, that thing just eventually just kind of goes away more because you're just not attached to it anymore. You're just living more in the moment, and you like kind of forget about it almost. You're like, that memory. It's
Is
just a
it really
memory,
about them
in the
as
end.
well? Or is it about you and your frequency and lifting and
Yeah.
raising your frequency and being happy? Because if you're constantly dragging your frequency down to focus in on that, you're giving your power away, you're giving your energy away, and you're not happy. So really, ultimately, it's not even about them anyways. It's really about you and your vibrational frequency and freeing yourself.
Yeah, what I look at it is kind of like, so there's been in the past some people stole
Mm-hmm.
something from me or this or that, and like I almost look at that as a different lifetime because it was so long, it was such a different vibrational frequency. I was in such a different state. I wasn't even like conscious, and so it's just I kind of look at it as a different lifetime, as like a memory. So if would I actually care if something happened like that in a different lifetime? Probably not. So
Right.
that's one way you can look at
No
it.
one on the other side would, put their energy out insistently trying to hold on to something that happened temporarily in a lifetime. They would just would. Okay, so with faith, your question is, are you one that is holding the light? The answer is absolutely yes. And you're saying it's a bit too much. So what do we do when it's too much? It's a bit too much. Can you ease this off? And then, of course, we need to really ground ourselves every single day. But as far as what's going to happen with faith moving forward in life, with anchoring this light and being a light, well, what are we? we are going to imbue, if you want to call, take in more light frequency and hold the light. Picture yourself like a pillar of light on earth, building more light. So it's not just about energy being here, such as starseed family members or spirit guides or loved ones, but it's us anchoring the light here. And more to come. Yes. It's just about you getting adjusted to the increase of light frequency through your vessel, and you're going to be just fine. Yes, but she's finding it a bit too much. So, she may need it just to. Mhm. It's almost like a cycle of incoming light, and so the cycle needs to complete itself. Maybe it'll take a week or maybe 5 days, but then we need to ground, take a break, take maybe some extra naps, whatever it takes, knowing that it's only going to last for a certain period. If they feel that you're ready for more and that you're opening up and you're ready for more, they're going to give you more. And at this stage, you're ready for more. Okay, Sangeeta has a
Mhm.
question, Paul. My younger daughter is a bright light, but is experiencing anxiety, insomnia, and a feeling of stuckness in her life. This has been going on for quite some time. Is this a physical problem, emotional, or spiritual? How to help her? So is it physical, emotional, or is it energy related? I get energy too.
Energy, energy. Very. I kind of feel. I do sense that stuck feeling that you are
Mhm.
talking about,
I
Sangeeta.
think there's many on Earth that are
There's
having a similar
that
experience.
Archangel Raphael is talking about experience. Experience. This person, your daughter needs experience
Mm-hmm.
in life. Experience, getting out there, having different experiences. There's a reason that she's feeling like this stuck feeling. It's because she's not having these experiences. It's not because she's not going outside of
Might
herself
be
at
time
all.
to take a road trip or head off somewhere or go to a spiritual retreat center or just go away from the home and have experiences.
It's like, so if you're feeling stuck, feeling depressed, you're gonna have these feelings of, you're gonna be up at night and like having insomnia, things like this, uh, this depression. It's almost like she needs to get out of her comfort zone. She's in too much in her comfort zone. What do you recommend her getting? Maybe like even going I feel like maybe even, I don't know if she's, because this is interesting, because you're saying your younger daughter. I'm not sure if she is, you know, like around the age of 18 or older, but if she is, I feel like it would be good for her to
Yeah.
like go away for a while, away from you even, just to have her own space at times. She needs to find her own vibrational frequency. She's quite find her own place in the world because she doesn't know who she is at this point.
Yeah. No, I
So
totally agree with that.
that's what I'm
It's
getting.
time to fly the nest, get the energy. She's 28 and married. Okay, well, it's time to go out and do things and get the energy moving. Yeah, yeah. Any other guidance? Yeah. Okay. They're relaying the same messages that they relayed when I relayed the messages to her previously, Sangita. It's the same message. They want her to hear that. And it would be good for her to get out and get the energy moving, going on a short trip, going away, going and going out and experiencing the world on her own 2 feet. Sometimes we can be sheltered by our parents, we can be sheltered by our husband, we can be sheltered and taken care of. And we're inside and we're working inside all the time. And so the energy can get very stuck or stagnant. And so in order to get that energy moving, even if we don't know entirely what direction we're meant to go on, at least just to get the energy moving, going out and having experiences, meeting new people, doing things. Because we've really just come out of big time stagnant or slower energy. And by the way, we really have until this fall, until things pull back again. So this is it. This summertime into September, this is the time to take action and do something. Uh,
Yeah, what I a lot of times see is from people that never leave their hometown. They have the same experiences around the same people. Or they never have to step out of their comfort zone, and they're always there. So it might be good sometimes to go somewhere else for a while to kind of get out of your comfort zone, go to a different location, a different vibrational frequency, and that can
yeah.
overall be good
And if she wants
sometimes.
to be stubborn, indigo, let her be. And then she'll just get more of the same until she's had enough. My mom would probably say the same thing you just said about me. Okay, so Tracy's question, I'm not going to read it all because it's quite long, but one thing I can recommend, Tracy, is uh, vital proteins. Okay, vital proteins is a collagen, and it's the best I've ever tried. Collagen in a powder form, you can take it in a protein shake or just mix it in water and down it every day. But basically, that really helped to heal up my skin. I had crazy eczema on my eyelids, around my nose. At one point, it was so bad around the sides of my face, little dry bumps all over my skin. I don't have that anymore. And especially with, uh, things degenerating, we need to be taking something to constantly be keeping that, built up in the body. And the other thing I would recommend is a type of calcium that I have been taking. Now, back in the day, because I starved so many times with ulcerative colitis and then I had 2 surgeries, the bone in my mouth was so soft. I would be like pushing on it, be I'm like, that's pretty soft. It shouldn't be bowing in like that. And so basically I started in with a type of calcium, which I'll put a link in below this video so you can go ahead and look that up as well, because you need to keep that bone built and keep it as solid as you can. So important. And it's weird because I went and got a bone density test done for my entire body, and I had the bone density of a 25-year-old. I'm like, well, not everywhere is that way. So, but as soon as I started taking this calcium, it became rock hard. Everything, my bone is like this, right? And so that helped tremendously. And I'll put the link in. Um, um, it's on the tip of my tongue, something chapter, uh, calcium, and it comes from red algae, and it's all natural. And I'm telling you, this stuff, when I looked up the reviews, it was thousands of reviews of it, just everyone having like the most crazy bone issues, and they were all, this stuff is it.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to put that link after this. And anything else that would like to come? Yes. So this is a part of what you came here to learn through. But they're talking about that we can learn things an easier way or a harder way. For example, oh, yeah. So for example, I chose to learn the hard way by continuing to drink even after I had 2 surgeries to have my large intestine removed. So that's learning the hard way, right? Like still abusing the body even after having surgeries. Now, of course, I've stopped, and it's been about 4.5, 5 years now, 5 years. But I don't really count it. I'm just like, this is how it's going to be. I'm done, dead. Depending on what we choose to do in life, we can make our diagnoses harder or easier. So needing to rest more, sleep more, take good care of ourselves. So especially when things are degenerating. They like that I'm recommending this calcium. They like that I'm recommending the vital proteins. And lots of spring water. So we're not drinking the tap water. We're drinking spring water from a local spring that you'll order from your phone book to be delivered. Anyways, they're talking about spring water, and they're talking about 8 to 10 glasses a day, which is alkaline, right? Helps to cool the body down, helps to balance the body, brings in minerals that we're getting from the earth. Okay. They're saying that you're taken care of. There are others in your life taking care of you, helping to take care of you financially and otherwise. Moving forward, they feel as though you will do the best that you can to have the best quality of life. Okay. Okay. All right. So we have 12 more minutes, and
Yeah, for this last person, I also feel like it's a thing about rest, forcing someone to rest.
Yeah. Resting, sleeping, napping.
Slow down.
And here's one last thing I want to say to Sangeeta. Like, your daughter can go and move somewhere, but it's about going off on her own somewhere. Do you agree with that? Thumbs up. They're just laughing and saying just not a retreat where there's no talking, a silent retreat. They don't recommend that. So it's about meeting new people, doing new things, having new adventure, getting the energy moving separate, on her own 2 feet, right? All right. So are there any last words that Archangel Raphael would like to relay for everyone? Starlight, beings of light and love, see yourselves this way. Know that you can manifest anything and everything, each of your desires, wishes, and dreams into your realities. Do not hold back and do not delay. Stop focusing on what you do not like in your life, in the world. Therefore, stopping the cycle of creating more thought forms, belief systems, and experiences that are the same that you do not wish for in your reality. Also talking about doing it that way creates more of a for some of us, a narrow-mindedness, being narrow-minded and only seeing things from a very select narrow-minded perspective. And he does not recommend that. Try your best to see things as a whole, taking into account everyone's perspective, everyone's thought forms on certain topics. And do not erase others' thoughts or beliefs to suit your own. And I feel like he's really, he's using the abortions ruling that's been happening recently, okay, as an example of that. Although this will be what he says as short-lived, and it will reverse back to where it was. And he says this is but a temporary, what they call a setback. And when it gets overturned, it will be even more solidified, even more cemented in place with even more support for those in need than before. So sometimes you have to go backwards in order for a bit of disruption and for those to step forward and really cement it into place the next time. Thank you, dear ones. Thank you, beloved ones. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you, Paul, for joining me. And I'm going to put all of our contact information in the box below and also above this video.